This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production, where we talk about what you're talking about at BYU-Idaho. Today's hosts are me, Savannah Bewley,
Bryan Bridge,
Colton Chill,
and today we have a guest host,
Aria Short.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university, and are solely the opinions of the hosts. This week, we are talking about what did we want to know, or what did we prefer to know before we moved to Rexburg?
How did Rexburg trick us into coming here, basically? I'm just kidding.
Colton, what did you wish you knew before you moved here to Rexburg?
So I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is a large city.
It is? I don't think so,
it's-
man. They only have like a replica Eiffel Tower. That's about it. So.
One thing that I didn't realize is that things close in most places.
Yeah.
In Vegas, Walmart, every fast food chain, everything is open at the very least until midnight, and many of those things are open 24 hours. So the concept of I was at Walmart with one of my roommates, and I heard an announcement just saying, hey, letting everybody know, please finalize your purchases here at Walmart. We'll be closing soon. I was like, they can do that? That's a thing?
Mm-hmm.
And you brought your guest host today, Aria. How do you guys know each other?
I was previously a student on campus, and we met through the ward because I was a local going to the ward. So,
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Aria.
And we're glad to have you. And what were you thinking is something that you wished you knew before you came here?
I've kind of lived in the area my whole life. So, I know a lot of people have trouble with, like, if they brought their cars here, they have parking issues all the time, especially at the beginning of a semester. So many people get booted, which I'm like, I mean, if you pay attention to the signs.
Yeah, it's controversial. We'll just say that much.
Yeah. There's so many people here.
The general rule is you can't park there, and then
You
you
just
have
don't
to
park.
you have to search and make sure that you can.
Yeah.
I've found a couple hidden spots that I'm not willing to share over the air because they are my little treasures, and I just don't want.
You don't want all the listeners to take them?
I don't want the entire student body to go and park there because it's free parking close to campus. I'm not going to share it.
Next week on The Spot, we follow fellow radio host.
It's free. It's close to campus, like 3-minute walk to the Sporey. So if you don't have class in the Sporey, then just turn off your headphones right now. And hardly ever is there less than 3 open parking spots there. So, just saying. You probably already know where I'm talking about.
Everybody's got at least somewhere that they want to, that they know of.
Yep.
Or if you're new here, you don't yet. That's kind of the whole point of this podcast episode. One thing I wish that I knew before I came here was how far Center Square was from Sporey, which the Sporey building is obviously where most of our communication classes are and art classes and things like that. Center Square is on the opposite end of campus.
Yeah.
But as a freshman, that's the one place you know where to live. And you're like, oh, well, it's sponsored by the school. It's a great place to live. And I'm not saying Center Square isn't a good place to live, but it definitely is way farther from Sporey than where I currently live.
Well, I think what the issue is that before I came to Rexburg, I didn't quite understand the hill that the campus is on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you don't have a car, or even if you do have a car and you choose to walk, you might tell your friends or your family, yeah, I'm used to it. But after walking from one end of campus up the hill, I mean, you're huffing and puffing, you're sweating maybe. And so I just wish I had known that where you live and where your classes are is very important to your mental health, I guess I should say.
And your physical health.
Yeah, even planning your classes, you don't want to have to go from the snow building to the
Yes.
Rix building in 15
my
minutes.
goodness.
It's just
I've done
crazy.
that. That's death.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yep.
So even though you're from here, you still were confused on campus and like understanding where things were?
Yeah, it's more of an understanding of learning how far of a walk it exactly is. And especially if you drive everywhere to begin with. Like, I parked at the top of the hill, so every day at the end of the day I had to walk all the way to the top of the hill to get to my car, which was terrible.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I feel like us communication majors, again, Sporey is mainly our building. But if you park at the Sporey, it's at the bottom of the hill. And so at the end of class or at the end of the day, you're walking downhill after class. And it's like, this is relaxing.
That's
So
only-
nice.
That's if you plan it right. See, I live on South 2nd West, which means I walk uphill to get to campus, then downhill to get to the Sporey, and then uphill to get to the center point of campus, and then back downhill to go home. So when I grow up, I can tell my kids I walked uphill both ways.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Well, and that brings us to a good point. You know, we trying to figure out where to live here in Rexburg and like where our classes are is kind of important, trying to figure out that balance. Trying to figure out where is the closest place to my class building. And that was kind of a point we talked a little bit about. Where's the furthest you guys have had?
Oh my gosh.
Furthest.
Okay, so I've told, I think, the podcast listeners and you guys, but I used to be an exercise physiology major, and so I lived, I believe it was South 2nd West, but at a place called Pinnacle Point. And I had a class in the Benson, which is not the farthest building, but it's like just after the very steep incline of the hill. And so that was rough. I would always go to class sweaty, and I didn't like it. So,
Where's the furthest place you live, Colton?
I think it's got to be South 2nd West, which is down. There's a roundabout on campus, and then that goes down to a roundabout that has Subway, and I live right around there. So I would go from there to the Hinckley building
Oh,
at
right there.
7:45 every morning.
That is a hike. At 7:45.
That's when the class started, yeah.
Goodness.
And it's a public speaking class, so I'd be in a suit,
Oh,
and I'm walking uphill.
that sounds so miserable.
And then I get there and I have to very quickly be like, okay, fix the hair again. Hello, today I'm talking about something I don't care about.
Oh no.
yeah, that sucks. I'm
Oh
sorry.
man. Aria?
I think it was my first semester. I was, of course, parked at the top of the hill. I live at home. So I was parked at the top of the hill, and I had to make it down to the Romney building during winter semesters. So everything was snowy. Yeah, I didn't always plan that well. It was bad.
Not good. This campus is just, I don't know, it's shaped in a different, like a weird way, and that giant hill makes a huge difference in where and how long it takes you to get to where you need to go, for sure.
Yeah.
I think if they were to redo the campus, they might consider making sure that departments, communications, biology, blah, blah, stays in one building. You just mentioned that public speaking was in the Hinckley. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Keep it in the Sporey. That's a communications class.
I think one of the biggest issues there is the Sporey building is way smaller than it should be.
It's so small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of the older buildings on campus.
And it's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love the Sporey.
It's
But you're right. The classrooms are a bit small.
And it's weird because when you walk in, you're like, oh, this is such a spacious building because the ceiling goes like all the way up. And I'm like, why didn't we use some of that space
Yeah, right.
for like classrooms?
There's the big like hole in the middle of the Sporey building that goes all the way up, and it's could have been like four classes minimum on one floor going up.
Yeah. Aria, I'm curious as a local. What do you think of the food here?
There's a lot of variety, but I am very picky about where I eat still.
When you say a lot of variety, why do you say that?
Because I can think of like 3 or 4 pizza places just off the top of my head.
Aria.
And
That equals not variety. What are you talking about?
But I mean, you've got, it's also pretty spread out. Like, there's Cafe Rio close to campus, but you've also got like 2 different sushi places, and they're both over by Fat Cats, which it can be hard to get to if you don't have a car to get there. But yeah, you'll learn to pick your favorite.
So let me, this is another thing I wished I had known. So I've been here since 2017. I took a couple hiatuses, or whatever you want to say. But I have officially eaten at every place in Rexburg more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very sad thing.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, there are 3 or 4 different pizza places.
Yeah.
And I like Righteous Slice is really good, but you kind of want to try new things. You want to be adventurous. That's what college students are all about. And you can't really be adventurous here in Rexburg.
Not so much, yeah.
I find a lot of people go out to Idaho Falls to get interesting and new different things.
Yeah, if you want the weirder
Yeah.
things, you go to IF.
Yeah.
My favorite Chinese buffet is in IF.
Oh, really? What is
It's
this place?
top ranked in the country, actually.
Wow.
It's the Evergreen Buffet in IF. Yeah,
Huh?
it's actually really good.
I'm going to have to try this one
Nice.
because I haven't found a place. I mean, the Asian cuisine over by Fat Cats, it's like a newer
Red 8?
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really like it.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. But I haven't found a whole lot of places like that when it comes to Asian cuisine around here
Yeah.
that I enjoy as much. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll call the Evergreen Buffet. I'll write that
Yeah.
down.
Evergreen Buffet. Other things around here that we should know about, or people that are new to Rexburg, maybe?
It depends on what you want to know. I've lived this area my whole life, so
I guess for me, I was thinking spooky season, right? Because that's coming
Yeah.
up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what do we do around here?
we have so many haunted attractions in the area. There's the haunted straw maze right next to the haunted forest, which is usually a big hit. It depends on what comes up. I know there's the haunted mill in the area. I'm not sure entirely where that is, but yeah, there's the haunted mill. I know if you're willing to travel further, out in Albion, Idaho, that entire place is haunted. Like,
Just the whole of Albion?
it's a very small town, but the entire place gets haunted. It's like its own haunted attraction for spooky season.
Wow. But
That's
if you don't
awesome.
want to get mixed up with real ghosts,
Okay, but there's a schoolhouse there that is absolutely haunted. I've been there. It's
no.
terrifying.
do you guys go to like real ghost attractions and things like that?
So I can handle Halloween decorations and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of like haunted houses because I know they're fake people and I know they're getting paid just to get a reaction out of me. But like, stop following me around. I'm just walking through this place. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, no. See, I can do I can do the fake stuff, like you're saying, like actors. Me and my buddies, we went to this thing called Fright Dome in Vegas, and we would specifically go to try and get our some of the actors and some of the actors that were our friends to break character. They're really good at not doing it, which is why you have to go really hard.
Yeah.
But like the moment that it's like, oh, you can't see it. Oh, maybe it's spectral or something. No. I don't like that. I already see stuff out of the corner of my eyes enough. I've already peeked over my shoulder twice since we started talking about haunted stuff.
That's funny.
It's as soon as it gets like actually like spectrally spooky, I'm out.
Oh, I'm the same way. I love the fake things, and I just love walking around and just being a part of those kinds of things. I think they're amazing. In fact, I used to act in one of those, and it was really fun.
Nice.
But yeah, like as far as it comes to the real stuff, I'm like, okay, I don't want to take anything home with me. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's true. I was not forced to, but my wife loves watching scary stuff, and she turned on American Horror Stories, and one of them was getting like demonic, and I couldn't sleep at night, and I was like, I am never watching that show with you ever again. I was like, you have to watch it in another room, because like when I served my mission, these Haitians would just recount these stories of I woke up with like bloody scratches on my back because the devil visited me, and I was like,
geez.
oh my gosh, please don't tell me this. So I don't know if I necessarily believe in that kind of stuff, but it definitely scares me to watch or to see. So
I will say that's the added benefit of all of the buildings on campus being dedicated.
There you go.
That's true.
You have to worry about that less.
It's true. And we feel much more safe in this little radio station than anywhere else, right?
Yeah. That's right. Except I got a little guy over on the shoulder watching me. It's a little creepy.
Something our listeners don't see. We have another one of our hosts who's new. His name's Travis in the corner. He's just observing this podcast episode. But he will be here in our next episode, and you'll get to hear him a little bit more.
He's a cool cat.
He's a cool cat for sure.
Let's see how many visual elements we can get into the podcast.
Yes.
So, Aria,
Yeah.
other things we can do here in Rexburg that people might not know are there, that are new?
There is a hatchet throwing place down on the same street as Fat Cats, which is always fun if you want to go hatchet throwing. If you're interested in planes or a history buff, there's the Legacy Flight Museum, which is always cool.
Oh, that's cool. Where's that at?
That one is over by like Gravity Factory in that area. It's past Gravity Factory, I believe. And all of their planes that are fully put together are actually functional. And they take them out all the time.
That is amazing. And do we get, I was here for the 4th of July parade. Was that the ones that are going above the 4th of July parade? Wow, how cool. That's awesome.
I live over there, and the planes can get loud, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see them so low.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say if you're going, take cash. Their system isn't as up to date, so it's harder for them to take card, but it's a really fun place to go and see.
I've heard some stuff about the ice caves too, like in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
No.
The ice caves are kind of out further towards the sand dunes, and there's an area we call the cinder pits. It's out in that way, kind of out in the bush, but there's a lot of caving you can do out there as long as you're careful.
So cool.
Yeah, there's always water down there, and it's almost always cold.
I've seen so many people with like pictures at the ice caves, and I'm like, I need to go to this place. It looks so cool. It also looks very cold, but
it is.
But worth it.
Yeah.
Any places you guys have discovered since you've been here?
I think like 5 different pizza places, like Aria was saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Discovered.
I found out that the best barbecue in Rexburg is in a gas station.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Blisters.
Yeah.
Blisters is great.
And
I had
that's
them
also
cater my wedding.
top ranked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
my
obviously
goodness,
like
they're
them
so
well
good.
enough to have them cater your wedding.
Yeah, I mean, they ever since that point, I think I've kind of gotten over them. But
you
it's
oversaturated
good.
yourself.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
It's good. Just don't eat it all wedding.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
get there earlier in the day because they do sometimes run out of meat, especially on like a Friday or Saturday when everybody's going out there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do they ever like close early because they just don't have enough? Or
I think they have before. I've never gone that late where they've had to close early, but I have definitely gone and been denied brisket, which is a sad feeling.
Oh,
Yikes.
that is really sad. I do actually really enjoy their mac and cheese over there. There's something they do about it. Like, it's not just like regular mac and cheese. Like, it's probably the best kind of mac and cheese I've ever had. It's so good.
And you haven't had Panera mac and cheese.
I mean, Panera's pretty good.
Panera mac and cheese is my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like the white one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah. That's some good stuff.
White cheddar.
I figured out what I discovered.
Oh, yes.
I discovered that Walmart is a fun activity here. It's like, man, we have nothing else to do. We can't get out of the house. We should go shopping at Walmart. It's like, okay, I guess. And then we end up spending like 40 minutes there, and it's like, yeah, I feel like I just did an activity. It's terrible.
I don't know. I feel like a fun thing is just walking down Main Street and seeing what you can find, because
There are a ton of shops.
Game Pulse is great if you're into gaming.
Oh, yeah.
They've got dice if you're into that. They've got magic cards. They've got a bunch of board games. That one's always fun. And then there's also Runnin' for Sweets, which is great.
Yeah.
Just candy shop, which is also fun.
My brother, he's been here for a few years now. He just graduated, and he said that Runnin' for Sweets really is one of his favorite places. It's just a really cool local place.
Yeah.
Nice.
They have a lot of weird drinks in there. So if
Okay.
you want to just find something weird, it's hilarious. They also have some international candy there, which is also fun.
That's cool.
It's mostly like European rather than Asian, but they have a lot of variety there, which is fun.
That's really awesome. I just love all the little places around here. There's just so many like little mom and pop shops and just little things haven't discovered yet. I'm actually kind of, I don't know, I'm a transfer student, so I've only been here for like, this is my third semester, so I'm still learning some of these things.
So you've only discovered 3 out of the 5 pizza places.
Only 3. So I need to find the other 2.
Okay.
It's almost like a treasure hunt.
I wish you luck.
Yeah.
I wish you luck.
One of them's a trick. They don't make the pizza for you. It's called Papa Murphy's. You have to bring it home and put it into the oven.
Oh, I did go to that one, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is interesting. I've never been to a place like this before.
Hold on. So we got Papa Murphy's, Papa John's, Righteous Slice, Flat Rock, Pizza Hut, Domino's. How saturated can this
Little
be?
Caesars.
Little Caesars, Dorza.
Which is it's a ghost kitchen, so it's not technically a restaurant, but still.
Yeah, but it's still pizza.
Yeah.
Walmart. I'm just kidding. Got that nice
What's
Red
that
Baron.
one where it's like you go in and there you can just get pizzas, like you're just
Oh,
they're already
Pizza Pie
out.
Cafe.
Pizza Pie Cafe.
yeah.
That's right, Pizza
Forgot
Pie
about that
Cafe.
one.
Yeah.
We have all these pizza places here, right? And like over the summer, I was at Walmart with my roommate, and somebody was handing out these cards for a pizza place in, oh shoot, where was it? It's somewhere like halfway between here and somewhere up north, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna drive 15 minutes for pizza.
When
Yeah.
there's like 6, 7 different options
Yeah.
already here.
I'll drive 15 minutes for Big Judd's, which is burgers.
Oh,
but
Big
those are
Judd's is
special
so
burgers.
Something that just came to mind is I had a friend, Travis and I had a friend that did DoorDash. If you come up to Rexburg and I won't call you a lazy student because then that just discourages you. But if you are feeling like you don't want to get up and out of the apartment and you just want them to deliver it to you, please tip your drivers accordingly because they are
Yeah.
students trying to make a budget as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
other students are working at the places that you will go, so treat them nicely because they are your colleagues. They are in the same boat as you. I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned in Rexburg is just like, while there are people who live here permanently, the majority of the population is students, and so treat them the way you'd want to be treated.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much every place around here is staffed by students.
Yeah, you can tell just how much of a percentage the population is students when it comes to summer semester.
Oh, yeah.
And you go from packed parking lots where you can't park anywhere to like half empty parking lots everywhere you go.
Honestly, more than half empty
Yeah.
parking
It's
lots.
so nice at Walmart.
It really is. The summer semester is just the best for
Yeah.
DI
Oh,
and
absolutely.
for Walmart. Like,
At the end of the semester,
So
you
good.
go to DI because that's where you're going to find so many things.
last place to mention before we get at ending here, one thing I didn't know about Rexburg or in the West area is all of the soda shops.
Oh,
my
yeah.
Like,
God.
I had
So many.
no idea that was a thing until like coming out here.
Well,
and I was
and
like,
even
what?
that's newer. Like, past maybe 5 years,
Oh,
we've
dang.
gotten so many new ones.
Yeah, back in 2017, like I said, when I started, Soda Vine was the main one, and
Yeah.
I think one of the only ones, if not like the Mavericks or whatever you call them. But yeah, now just about every street has one.
Yeah, there's one made out of like a shipping crate, right?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're talking about.
It's like blue or something.
Why can't I think? Not Jamba Juice.
No.
Shaka Juice.
Oh,
Is that what it's called? I just remember going there once or twice, and it's like literally just like the shipping containers you see on like cargo ships.
Yeah.
And they have gutted. I guess you can't gut a shipping container.
It's already gutted.
They have inserted guts into it so that they can serve soda out of it.
yeah, that must be Shaka Juice.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like Shaka Juice, so I'm trying to figure out.
Royal Soda. It's called Royal Soda, and it's temporarily closed. I don't know if that's a day thing.
It might have been
or
an IBC.
That might have been.
It might have been.
It might have been a thing that fell through, which is a shame because it was a cool, cute little idea.
So, last mentions. Anything else from Rexburg that we should tell new people?
These are two things that are just kind of considerations. One, do not put off your shopping until Saturday night or Monday morning.
Monday, don't do
Yeah,
it.
no.
Every person will be there. So try to pick a day during the week, or if you're going to go Saturday, go early. And if you're not used to snow, practice walking in it. Everyone slips, and I have had to go and rescue my roommate at least once because he walked to Burger King. The snow picked up, and he went, I physically cannot get home.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
My mention, and we might talk about this on a later episode, but if you do drive here, don't drive like a crazy person. I know it's tempting to look cool in front of your friends, but people have lost their lives. People have gotten hurt. I just saw a Facebook post about a lady running over a 2-year-old and then driving away. If you have friends in your car, cool. Good job having friends, but please just look out. Pay attention while driving. If you want to look at your phone and text, fine, but don't do it when there's a ton of traffic around. Anyways, yeah.
I would agree with you there, Brian. Traffic is kind of crazy here. Absolutely. That was one of my last mentions. So, Aria?
I will say that if you pay attention to the signs on campus, parking on campus after 5 is free.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
I believe it's 4 o'clock.
In a lot of places it's 4. I think there's one lot that it's 5.
Okay.
But yeah, that's free until 1 a.m. So.
You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were me, Savannah Bewley,
Bryan Bridge,
Colton Schull,
and our guest host today,
Aria Short.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely the opinions of the hosts. This episode was edited by me, Savannah Bewley. Producers were the hosts with supervision by Brandon Isle. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, like and follow us on social media or visit our website, byui.edu/radio, and click podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to the BYU-Idaho Radio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also, leave a review of the show and leave a comment on what you think we should talk about next.